Welcome. This is the day after Election Day, November 2019. We never usually put a date on these things, but this is the Gorgeous George Show. I am your announcer, Kay Lazar. Now, Gorgeous George is not here yet. Gorgeous George is very, very far away, but he's taken a boat and then a motorcycle and then a go-kart and then a skateboard, and hopefully he'll be going up the steps on that old lady's elevator on the way up there. But he's on his way. Anyway, like I said, it's the day after Election Day, and we are I don't know your political views. I guess we have a wide range of people who watch this show. We have sort of the rural GED the people who like the show, and then we also have the cosmopolitan college-educated people who everyone seems to love this show. So whatever the case, I hope it all worked out for you last night. I think it's a good indication of what things going on for the next election. Next election is a big election in 2020. This kind of this sort of the exhibition season, but it's very important. A lot of governors got elected last night. Lots of all the state legislatures across the country doing well. Virginia, the governor Ralph Northam, who is my favorite Al Jolson imitator. Ralph Northam said Virginia is now blue. So take that what it was. We have 2 Democratic senators. We have a Democrat governor. Went for Hillary Clinton in the last election. And it's always a hodgepodge, here and there, almost every state of Republicans, Democrats in the legislature. But seems like now it's for the first time in 26 years, Virginia is now blue. So is that a harbinger of what's going on in 2020? Well, we'll see. But whatever the case, there'll be a post-mortem on both sides to see how things went. Also, we're at the beginning of basketball and hockey season. We're in the college basketball season right now. We're also into the end of baseball season, and the Nationals won last week, the first time ever. The former Montreal ex-pros. Now they should have stayed in Montreal. They could have brought a world championship to Canada. Toronto had one a few times, but that would have been great. They probably would have never left Montreal, but they came to Washington, National League team. First time Washington, I think, ever, when the old-time American League Washington Senators, first in war, second in peace, and always last in the American League, was the Washington baseball team. Well, you can't say that anymore. And that's going strong. So here we go. We have another 6 months of listening to how wonderful the Nationals are. Oh well, just try to keep your mind on football. Football is, we're going to talk about football. We're going to talk about this show's favorite team, the Dallas Cowboys. Someone asked me that they saw me. Do you appear on a Dallas Cowboy themed talk show every week? I said it becomes that way. We're going to talk about that too. We're going to talk about a lot of things. Because this show was taped yesterday, we're not taking calls, I'm sorry to say. So because there won't be any calls. And if you're not seeing this live right now, then you'll eventually see it on the internet. So isn't that exciting? And without any further delay, I have my good friend, and we're going to introduce him right now. The joy of Richmond, Virginia. Here he is, Mr. Gorgeous George Valentine.
Bravo, 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 bro. Please, hold the applause. Please hold the applause. Now, I sit on this side, you sit on that side. We'll focus that camera over here in a second.
All right.
We'll get the people to come in here and do that. Ladies and gentlemen, how we doing tonight? It's a great night. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? Won't you be my neighbor? You know what? Tell you what, won't you be my neighbor? That's right. It is Gigi's extravaganza. It's Gigi's neighborhood.
Yes.
That's right.
You look very nice tonight. I like
well, thank you.
That jacket.
Thank you. And I am as blue as the state of Virginia.
Yeah.
I'm as blue as the state of Virginia is. How about that?
You know, it took me a lifetime for this to happen. I mean, when I was growing up, I mean, casual racism, people use the N-word all the time. People were pretty nasty to other ethnic groups, and now, you know, I never thought I'd see that in Virginia. You still don't see it in a lot of places. North Carolina still has a way to go. But, you know, Virginia.
Well, I mean, we've been blue for a while, actually. I'm going to kind of correct you there. We've been blue since 2008.
Yeah.
2008, we've been blue.
That's right.
That's
also, we were the first state to elect a black governor, and that was a time when we weren't all that blue. We had senators and governors here and there, but even but now we're actually pretty. I guess influx of ethnicities. Also, people from Northern Virginia tend to be have moved here from other places, and they said we got to bring our politics with us. So, like it or not,
well,
old Virginia.
You know,
is dead.
politics and religion and sports teams and all these other things that can start wars, can start a civil war, can start a war in your bedroom. But I'm going to tell you what. Now, of course, the war in the bedroom, I am the referee. I hate to tell you this. You know, I usually am the coach. But I don't want to see what's going on. I have no, you know, unless I'm a participant. I'm not a person that watches. I'm a participant in the sports routine, and I'm also a participant in the bedroom scene as well. So if Maggie's in there, you know, and she's wanting to do something special, well, we'll push Bubba. We'll eject Bubba on the up way out of the bed, and then Gigi comes in and takes care of everything that needs to be taken care of. Because you know why? Because I am the man that's causing all this. I am the man that's causing you to feel so good. Now, I'm going to be looking at both cameras trying to figure out what camera I'm looking at. Straight shot here, straight shot there. Hey, look, when you walk in front of the camera, bend down.
No, they want to see
bend
all.
Down.
They just want to see all of my glory here.
Bend down.
They don't
bend down.
They don't
and then walk under.
They don't
then
want,
look up.
They don't want to see the backside.
Well, not seeing your backside, just bend down so you're not in the camera. You're in the camera now, but when you walk in front of, you know, from the Mac Daddy, you got to bend down.
Are you sure that I am small enough so that people can see?
You're good.
All right. Well, I don't know if you couldn't. I mean, if that's what you're saying, you couldn't arch your back. Then I'm sorry.
Nah.
But it's culturally sensitive anymore. Forget about it.
Listen here. You know, we are what's causing all this. We've been causing all this for 25 freaking years. And if you've been under a rock, if you never heard the Gorgeous George show, what is matter with you? What the matter with you? What the matter with you? If you never heard of the Gorgeous George show, you need to sit back and get a notepad out and jot down every little syllable, every little vowel, every little pronoun, and every little thing you hear that comes out of my mouth. And once you do that, you'll be doing pretty good.
Notepad and pen.
Notepad or pen, or maybe number
do they
two.
Still make those things?
Maybe number 2 pencil. Kevin, for you can use a crayon. You can crayon and you can color in it.
Let me tell you something.
Yes.
Let me tell you something. A few days ago, some pretty girl offered me her phone number, and I said, I don't have, like you said, a pen and a piece of paper. And they said, don't you have a cell phone you put it in? I said, yeah, but I still, kick it old school. Maybe I didn't want her permanently in my phone.
Right.
Maybe I just wanted to call her and then.
Well, sometimes the phone.
The heck with it.
One thing about my phone, I need to get rid of it. It dials people automatically.
Yes.
So, and as I'm talking on the phone with someone doing a business deal, maybe or conducting business or whatever, paying a bill, someone else comes to play. I said, "What the hell? I didn't call you." And they just come in, and the phone will dial them as I'm talking to someone else.
Butt dialing.
I don't know whether you can butt dial or
usually
what
it's
it
side
is.
dialing because usually you don't have your phone in your back pocket.
No, I'm talking. This phone will dial. This phone will automatically dial on its own.
Yeah.
It doesn't do it like like you figure what the hell's going on here. Oh, hey, I don't know. I'm talking to somebody else. So I call you back. Did you just call me? I know you. Oh, I called you. I didn't call you. So the phone obviously does it on its own because it's possessed.
It calls. In fact, it happens to everybody. Even it happens to the president's lawyer. He called Rudy.
Oh, Rudy!
Accidentally called, I think, an NBC reporter. He must have been
Rudy
talking
Giuliani.
What happens is the way butt call. They
Hey,
usually
Rudy Giuliani, you're
redials
going
the
to
same
jail, my
call you
friend.
just made, and he was talking
Yeah.
to somebody. I don't know who he was talking. I don't really know the details of it.
Yeah.
I've heard bits of it on TV.
And he hires
but
his-
he was talking to somebody about the trial, and then
Yeah.
the reporter, the
Right.
worst person you want to call, or you want to accidentally call,
And he
with
hires his
information
own
what you're doing.
lawyer. He hires his own attorneys now. Rudy Giuliani, you're going up the river. I'm telling you that right now. It's about time. You should have been up the river a long time ago.
Well, he is a lawyer, and all lawyers always have to. Lawyers don't defend
Rudy
themselves.
Giuliani is a crook. Is
Yeah.
what he is. He's a crook.
Oh, yeah.
He should have been in a prison cell a long time ago. That's obvious.
What for? What? Why do you?
Why I say that? I mean, it just his shady deals that he does. I mean, shady deal orchestrating that whole thing, pulling Trump like a puppet. Making Trump speak.
You want to know what I'm upset about? Is because I like Rudy. And
I
think
can't stand
Rudy,
him.
no, okay, you can't
Stand him.
Okay, this is my problem is that he was this great mayor, probably the greatest mayor of New York has ever had.
No, Hillary Clinton was.
Mayor of New York? Yeah, Hillary was the mayor of New York.
Hillary Clinton was. Well, she was the.
She was
the
there.
one.
She's a
Yeah.
senator. I'm
Yeah,
talking
the
about
senator.
mayor.
Well, she was the one.
But
She
he
was
was
the one causing
mayor.
New
No,
York,
okay,
yeah.
let's just talk about him as mayor. Rudy was a great mayor during 9/11 and all that stuff, and then and now sadly because of his dealings with helping Trump out, is actually tarnished his
When
legacy.
they make hideous comments about the Clintons, they're no good in my mind. When you talk bad about the Clintons, the team, the franchise, the team, the best president of the United States we've ever had, we know what we're talking about. That's William Jefferson Clinton. I did not have improper sex with that woman. No improper sex. It was all proper. That's right. And I believe every word he says. So you talk bad about the Clintons. In my book, you already get a negative, double negative. And yeah, Rudy had some nasty little things he said about Hillary. So as far as I'm concerned, Rudy is.
We ran against her for the.
Well,
Senate.
I understand, but
And-
Rudy, his skeletons
had to drop out.
his skeletons are coming out of his closet.
He had to drop out because he had prostate cancer.
Yeah.
But
he
he-
had prostate.
Yeah, but he got a, but he actually, the mayor of New York has never gone past being mayor of New York. A lot of Mayor Lindsay and Mayor Koch, they've all tried to run for governor or
Right.
president. Didn't really work out for any of them. To some extent, the mayor of New York is probably as high as you can get, other than being president. There's always talk about Bill Clinton running for mayor of New York. He can't be president again. But
No,
could
it's a
be
shame
the
he
president.
can't.
He could be the mayor of New York.
It's a shame that he can. He should be. He should
Yeah.
be. Have 2 more terms.
Well, that's
Hell, Jimmy Carter himself could be running again.
well, no, yeah, he could.
Jimmy Carter
could
run again. Have
because
that last
of
term
the
there.
Constitution. Yeah, you
Sure.
can only be elected twice.
That's right.
And so a lot actually with the other.
I mean,
the
you look at-
exception
I mean,
of
you look at
Carter
him, I
and the
mean-
first Bush, they've all been elected twice.
Yeah. Well, of course, the
Many
first
years.
Bush is pretty much now under the cherry tree.
Yeah, he can't go.
He can't go in.
No,
No,
but he was you can't run you can't. So anyway, getting back to Giuliani, I think he only picked Giuliani because he thought by having a high prestige celebrity as his lawyer that would be good. But it's almost I'm not sure.
You should
I
have
don't think
somebody-
Giuliani's all that great a lawyer. I mean, he's a great mayor and he's probably
You
a great
should have
lawyer
somebody who's
the-
already in office right now, or someone who's working for you as a staff member, in control of what's going on. To hire an attorney for something like this, I mean, pretty much when you already know your hand was already in the cookie jar, when you already know that you made you did that unholy call that you made to the Ukraine, and trying to find something on Biden that you can't find. You try to find a phantom on Joe Biden and his son, and you can't find it. And whatever Biden's son already called it what it was.
Yeah.
So pretty much your hand was put in the cookie jar, and you hire this crook Rudy. I'm sorry, Rudy is a crook. I'll say it. You want to sue me? Sue me. I don't care.
And
That's right.
well, let me just also say about Rudy. I'm not so sure he's such a great lawyer. I
No.
mean, I tell you what he should have done. And it may be wild, but it's not any less wild than hiring Rudy, a big name mayor, as your attorney. He should have done like OJ did and hire a dream team. He should have the ones that are still alive: Robert Shapiro, F. Lee Bailey, Barry
wait,
Schiff.
hold on now.
He could have got all those guys, and as they were as
Johnny
much as
Cochran.
you don't. Well, Johnny Cochran's
Yeah.
been planted.
Well, I know, but I'm calling him back.
Robert Kardashian's been planted.
Johnny Cochran, Shapiro, and F.U. Bailey. F.U. Bailey. Okay.
F.U.
That's right.
You hire him, he becomes F.U. Bailey.
That's right.
Anyway, so I mean, even though but the trouble is when you hire those guys, you're pretty much saying, yeah, I'm guilty. Now I'm going to try to get off. But let's not talk about Rudy. Let's talk a little bit about, you said about Hunter Biden. Bring that up again about Hunter Biden. This is Biden's son.
Well, I mean, so you talk about we all know about the Ukraine, we all know about the situation, and of course the conversations were clearly obvious for the people to hear that Trump is trying to say, well, talking to the leader of the Ukraine about making a deal and give us the information about Biden. You do that, we'll be able to help you. But so trying to do something is highly illegal, trying to manipulate a foreign country, trying to manipulate a foreign country. Look, I like Trump. I don't dislike Trump, but as for President of the United States, I think he needs to go bye-bye. I think that, I've said this before, I said it again, Trump is good on The Apprentice, Trump is good on, on Howard Stern, but for President of the United States, he needs to go bye-bye. And the whole dealing is trying to put the blame, of course, he's intimidated by Biden, very intimidated, as he would call him, Sleepy Joe Biden. He's very intimidated by Biden.
All those nicknames.
And to add to that, so that's why he's coming up with this, deal with the Ukraine. So now you go ahead and do that. We'll go ahead
and give you the money.
Give you the money, help your country out, and do whatever. And if you tell us a little bit more about Biden, tell me a little bit more about Biden and his son. And his son has already come out to said, look, it's more than what you're making it out more to be than what it is.
Yeah. Well.
Now correct me if I'm wrong about that.
Okay.
I'm not wrong.
Biden's son is just there doing a business deal. So, but who knows what's going on there? I mean, we assume that
Never assume now.
We're doing.
When you assume you make an ass out of you, me, and Vince.
When you assume you make an ass out of Uma Thurman.
Okay. Okay.
Now, what happened?
Hark! I hear somebody coming down the line. Okay.
So what happened? So what happened was, so actually all this money, because the Ukraine is an ally of ours. We're going to send a bunch of aid to them, money aid and financial aid, and because they had a rough time with Putin taking over the country a few years ago. So what happened was, so we send money there to keep the peace. Well, like we do with a lot of countries. We send it to the Palestinian Authority, we send it to Israel, we send it to Egypt, all to keep the peace. That's good money spent because it basically tells all the people, listen, we'll take the money away if you're going to go to war, but it's in our best interest.
Or you take the money away if you don't follow what old Highness Mr. Trump, oh my God, follow what he says.
It's actually in America's best interest that Ukraine takes their money.
Right, I'm saying, but I mean, Trump won't. Trump
thought
he's not going to give it because
he thought he could.
He's going to hold it back.
Yeah.
Because he's not playing up. He's not playing his speed. He's not doing what he was told.
But if he would have held it back and said, if you have a war with another country without our blessing, then we will hold it back. However, he didn't say that. He said, can you find me some stuff on my political opponent so I can so I'll have some leverage in defeating him next year, and that is a truly, in fact, I think of all the things we kind of laugh at a lot of things that Trump does and everything, but this is something that has actually gone beyond the pale, and that is why all these people that like Nancy Pelosi and stuff who weren't really all that gaga about impeachment now are on the train for impeachment.
And the problem is now, and you do have some in the
Trump.
Senate, you do have some of the Republicans actually voting for him to be impeached, but you know as well as I know, and I believe the count is 20, we need 20 Republicans, only 20, to vote to impeach. Now I think there are two, correct me if I'm wrong, I think there are 2 Republicans that are voting to impeach Trump.
Okay.
So now I don't know, we need 20. We have 20. By Thanksgiving, by the next few weeks, by Thanksgiving, it's going to be a done deal.
The way it is.
By a done deal. But I don't think, even beyond all of this, that he will. A message. I don't think he will be impeached. It's the same thing. I think, the same thing that happened. I think, maybe censure. Now, he's not a lawyer or whatnot, so he's not practicing law, but he can be censured in other ways. And probably the same way that, the best president
Censure
was.
means nothing. I think the president of the United States, when you're censured, it just goes like this.
No, censure means...
Oh, you're not removing me from office? You're going to yell at me?
What
Yell
happened-
at me. That's all I'm going to.
What
I'm
happened
just going to be
with
get
our
yelled
best
at. That's a
president,
good
Bill Clinton? What
punishment.
happened with our best president, Bill Clinton? He was censured. He was censured. Some of the things you couldn't practice law. That doesn't apply to Trump because he's not a lawyer. So we practice law, but can't practice. But he's the things that you can't do being censured. So he'll probably be censured or have the title of being that. He's not a lawyer, but I'm sure that there's things that can be done.
Well, I'll tell you something about that. Is that I think what's going on is I'm not so sure about the senators. The senators have to remove him from office. Let's face it, at this point they don't. If it was done today, he wouldn't be removed from office. But because of the Democratic majority in the House, they could put him up for trial in the impeachment trial. And let me tell you something. I don't think any of the Republicans are on board in the Congress about that. Things may change. But at this point, it hasn't. And I was talking with somebody the other day that we've had impeachment trials and everything for two presidents, and then we had, of course, with Richard Nixon, who resigned. It's very difficult to remove a president from office, and it should be. We should give the president, by virtue of his office, every chance he can to defend himself, to say that he was doing the right thing and he was doing things in the best interest of America.
Let's bring up something that I just popped in my mind like a golden light. Lindsey Graham, who is a horse's ass. We know about Lindsey Graham. He's the biggest horse's ass of them all. Back in the 90s, he was saying, "Oh, impeach, impeach, impeach. Impeach Clinton for doing this. When we find him, even if he did anything inappropriate, he needs to be impeached." That came out of Lindsey Graham's mouth. Now, we have the most inappropriate president right now in Donald J. Trump. Donald J. Trump does the most inappropriate and sometimes, crazy stuff he does. Sometimes, I think he's being sued now for sexual harassment. That's all hearsay, but he's being sexually sued from sexual harassment from what I hear. But now, out of Lindsey Graham's mouth, "Oh, well, we need to follow, and this is all a lynch mob, and this is a lynch mob, we're not going to do this." It's funny, and of course, when I watch CNN, I'll tell you what, I have mad props for Como. The guy on CNN, what's his Como? Yeah. I have mad props because he said point blank that Lindsey Graham, you are in a fight against your own words. You are fighting your own words from 20 years ago. Okay? Yeah. So it's good, but it's okay if it's, the other side. "Oh, let's do this and let's get him out of office." But when the shoe is on the other foot and your guy up there is getting questioned, "Oh, it's a lynch mob, it's a lynch mob." Lindsey Graham, you should go ahead and resign. You are an idiot. You should resign from public office altogether.
From South Carolina.
Okay, that's it. Well, of course, South Carolina. That's all you need to know.
Yeah.
They're filled with them old, hillbillies down there in South Carolina. That's all you need to know. But anyway.
Lindsey Graham used to be one of the more sensible guys when he was an ally in the Republican Party of John McCain, and together they were sort of like the moral center of the Republican Party.
John McCain, even though he had his faults about him, John McCain, even though he got Sarah Palin as his VP back in 2008, gosh doggone it, got an old bumpkiss out there from Alaska as his VP. But that being said, John McCain was, if you had to respect somebody from the other side, John McCain was very respectable.
Oh, he was.
John McCain was a warrior. Was a hero. And, no matter if he was captured or whatever, like Trump had said, he was a war hero. And that's the bottom line with that. So if we had to say who was the most respected Republican, I would say late John McCain was.
Yes.
Hands down.
Let me tell you something. Getting back to other stories recently, there was the World Series game. Trump showed up and he got booed there. Booed?
Lock him up. Lock him up.
They actually said that. Now, let me tell you something about up to that point. Trump has never made an appearance. Anyway. He appears at his rallies with hand-picked, supporters there, and but he never appears at anything that's a group, a well-rounded group of everybody. So I think he was rather flabbergasted that there were people, because he's only used to adulation from interview places he goes to get interviewed, and also from rallies he does. So I actually said, listen, I've been to lots of ball games. I love sports, and I've seen lots of politicians at ball games. I used to be a DJ, And DJs and politicians always get booed at ball games. So I didn't really think, well, he got booed at a ball game because he got booed at a ball game.
Right.
That's a typical politician. But a friend of mine was at that ball game, and he was at a ball game a few years ago at National Park where John McCain showed up. John McCain, they did not yell, lock him up. They did not boo him. They gave him a standing ovation because
right.
everyone seemed to, even though they may not have, everyone there voted for him, they seemed to love John McCain. So that threw my theory out of the window there.
And the whole thing is, if you get technical, McCain and Biden were like this. McCain and Biden were best of friends.
Long time.
If you go right into it. So the thing about it is we're going to get into this in a bit here. But it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out and see how the moderates do on the other side as well. This reminds me, it's a Rod Stewart concert back in '97.
Yeah.
Governor Gilmore was sitting right behind me.
Yeah.
Rod Stewart concert right in the Richmond Coliseum. Governor Gilmore was sitting right
did he
behind
like-
me.
did he
Turned
walk?
around. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I was, Governor Gilmore. We
Yeah.
should get a quick, but
Oh yeah, I've met Governor. He's a nice guy.
Back in
But they're
97.
all nice guys. But let me tell you something. But I'm always afraid when a politician goes in like a ball game and walks up the aisle. It's like the gauntlet. They're all throwing their popcorn and spitting it, throwing their cotton candy. They're full of candy.
Well, when we listen, when we do our exploratory campaign launch, you and I next year, Yarid and Kravitz, we're going to be doing it right now.
What? That's our real names.
Oh my God! What we said. Yarid Kravitz in 2020.
Kay Lazar and
we
Valentine.
are going to be
Valentine
the
and Lazar.
alternative. We're going to be the alternative candidates for next year. And what's going to happen is, the things that I'm going to be pushing for is sexual freedom. If you want to do it, to her like this, or like that, go right ahead and do it. As Henry used to say before. Actually Henry died last year.
Oh.
Henry died. We're sorry. His mask got torn up.
You should have a funeral.
His mask got torn up really bad. But that's all right because Henry's going to be reincarnated here soon. But anyway, but yeah. So if you basically you go back and you think about all this. It's like I said, it's the whole idea. And I forgot what I was saying now.
But you know that
But
McCain,
anyway.
supposedly McCain's daughter said that his biggest regret, on his deathbed, was that he didn't pick Joe Lieberman as his vice presidential running mate over Sarah Palin. A Democrat or a former Democrat.
Well, Lieberman switched parties pretty
Yeah.
much. He switched parties, so
Yeah.
I kind of get a bit of prunes with that.
Yeah, and he, but he only lasted one more term, and I really wish Joe Lieberman was the vice president in 2000.
So
That would have been a wonderful thing.
So to finish what I'm saying is, so an exploratory campaign will be sexual freedom, you'll be smoking cabanas, you'll be doing all of that, it will be all high. And that is my motto in 2020. Let's get high. Vote for Yarid and Kravitz in 2020.
Our names again. Now, wait a minute. I got to tell you, sexual freedom, there's not really you can pretty much do anything you want these days
No.
between two
Well,
adults.
no, but see, but
And
like,
marijuana is
actually-
becoming so decriminalized that it used to be when you ran for any office and said I was against marijuana, you got applause. Now if you say I'm against that marijuana, it's almost like saying I'm against cats and dogs and children. Because there seems to be, everything,
Well, now, it's
everything
funny.
changes.
I don't like marijuana. I don't like the smell of marijuana. But I'll tell you this. Snoop Doggy Dogg has got something going on right now where you can make an investment. Vince, you invest things, right?
Yes.
Come on
This
over.
is the time right now before before they make cabanas legal. I mean,
Cannabis.
Cannabis. I say cannabis. You say anibus. You say twat. I say squat.
Twat.
Doesn't
Yeah, I say
matter.
twat
Yeah,
all
you
the
say
time.
twat. Okay, so that's the bottom line. Don't correct the master. So basically, when it comes down to it, when cannabis or cannabis, and when it's legal, it's time to invest. It's time to make your investment now, so you can invest and make some money, and for a 401k, and then be able in 10, 20 years from now, be able to take $100 down
Yeah.
and turn that sucker into $100,000.
I think that's how the Whitewater deal didn't do well for Hillary.
Kevin.
And she's been plagued by it ever since. People are still talking
Do
about
I
it.
have to educate you? Do I have to educate you here? Seriously. Don't you know?
Yeah.
And we're getting off topic, and you walk right in front of the
Look
camera.
who's here.
Walking right in front of
Made
the
it.
camera. Next time,
I have to say something.
bend down.
I'm
Hey,
sorry.
look. When you walk in front of the camera, bend down.
No, they want to see
Bend
all.
down.
They just want to see all of my glory
No,
here.
bend down.
They don't
Bend
wanna,
down.
they don't
and
wanna-
then walk under.
They
and
don't
then
want,
look up.
They don't want to see the backside.
Well, that's in your backside. Just bend down so you're not in the camera. You're in the camera now, but when you walk in front of, from the Mac Daddy, you got to bend down.
Are you sure that I am small enough so that people can see?
You're good.
All right. Well, I don't know if you couldn't. I mean, if that's what you're saying, you couldn't arch your back. Then I'm sorry.
Nah,
But
let's
anyway,
arch
so-
your bunker back.
Okay. So what I'm saying is now this is the time to make the investment. If you want to make an investment right now, this is the time to make the investment.
It is true.
And one thing about it is, you talk about getting life insurance. And Kevin, I told you this before. You used to sell insurance, so you know this. You can
Still
get
do.
life insurance on your own,
Yeah.
own policy, and make a profit.
Yeah.
You can put like $1,000, a menial, couple $1,000 down, a couple $1,000 down,
Right.
and ride that thing month to month to month. And then, in a few years down the road, you can pull out and you can make a profit. It's got life insurance, and it's it's exempt, and you can make off your own life insurance, and we'll have a policy off that.
Wow.
So,
That's pretty
and
nice.
so
Why
that's-
didn't everybody do that?
they should.
They're not as smart
And
as
that's
you are.
and that's what we and once I get my stuff together and get my monies together, that's what you do.
Okay, I heard that Gorgeous and Kay are running in 2020.
That's right.
For what?
Amazing.
That's right.
What?
And if you play your
what
cards
office?
right, we'll give you Speaker of the House.
I like that.
Speaker of the House.
Speaker of the House. I'll
But
take
you
it.
can't wear any shitskin paraphernalia.
I'm sorry. See, that's against my. That's against my.
then you won't get the
philosophy.
Oreos.
Okay,
Baltimore
well, that's
Oreos.
another losing
Yeah.
losing team.
When I was a kid,
I
I
know
thought they
that
were the
sounds
Oreos.
Like the Oreo cookies.
I mean,
I thought they were.
no shitskin paraphernalia, no Orioles. My God,
Guess
come
what?
on.
I'm sorry.
I-
I'm sorry. I can't
Yeah,
I
do
love
it.
your
I can't do
Giants
it.
Can't do
blue.
it.
I love your Giants blue shirt.
Yeah.
This is Cowboys.
Now look, we got gray and blue, just like the Cowboy colors.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
Cowboys.
my goodness.
We didn't plan that.
No,
you
we
know
did
what?
not.
And those Cowboys did smoke those Giants pretty good again. That's
No,
good.
it's
They
not
swept
bad.
those Giants pretty good.
Yeah.
And we got the Vikings coming up Saturday night.
You know
Bring
how
them
many girls I
on. Bring
kissed
them on.
that night?
How many what? How
How many
many?
girls I kissed that night?
How many goats you kissed?
At
How many?
least one.
How many goats did you ride?
Goats.
How many goats did you ride?
Oh, by the way,
Oh, we're changing something.
speaking of clothing, I
Yeah.
got this I got this nice rainbow tie. It's, I guess, in favor of gay rights and everything. So I have this lovely rainbow tie, and you won't believe who designed it.
Liberace. Rudy.
Rudy, not Rudy.
No, not
I
Rudy.
can't make it that one. So.
You can't.
I can't.
You can't read that.
Can you remember the last name there? He has a famous signature.
I don't.
Yeah, he almost looks like you.
Oh, is that right? coming from you, that's
It's Rush.
Rush
Oh,
Limbaugh.
Rush.
It's a Rush
I
Limbaugh
couldn't
tie.
make out his writing. So,
You know,
yeah.
Rush Limbaugh tie. It's a nice tie. In fact, all of his ties look very good.
I didn't know. But Vince, don't you have a side company now where you making cookies now?
Well-
with semen flavored in them?
No,
Okay.
no,
All
no,
right,
no,
that's
not,
what I thought you
not,
did.
not,
I'm
no,
sorry.
cannabis cookies.
I thought
That might work.
Yeah.
I thought it was semen. Okay, I'm sorry.
You know, people love. You know, that's very okay. I got one last thing to say. You know, all of Rush Limbaugh's ties all look good with a brown shirt. It's really weird. Now, anyway, that's a
Oh.
joke about Rush.
Okay.
Now, but let me tell you about cookies.
Yeah.
And candy and everything. Last week was Halloween,
That's what I
and there was talk in like on the far right, like what's that thing? InfoWars and stuff like that.
Okay.
That they were talking about how and Breitbart they were talking about beware of people in California and stuff. They're going to give. They're going to put their edibles, their marijuana edibles that look like candy to your children for Halloween.
Oh.
And then
Hey,
somebody,
mommy, I'm so high right now. Can you give me a bowl of rice?
let me tell you something.
Juliet, what's wrong with you? You got your candy, didn't you? No, mommy, I'm hungry. I want you to give me some scrubs or some stuff for me to fit my tummy. Let me see that candy. Oh my goodness gracious! Smell this, there, Henry. Well, I'll be damned. It smells really bad. Okay, anyway.
Well, let me tell you something.
Yeah.
It was shot down, this theory, because they found out that I mean nobody found, no one on Breitbart ever found this out, but they found out people started countering that these edibles cost something like $5 to $10 to $20 each, and they're not going to throw it away on your kids, on other people's kids.
Golly.
Give it
Give
to the dog. Give it to the dog. That's what you want to do.
Well, see, the edibles are very popular
That's right.
on the West Coast because people
Yes.
don't really smoke so much anymore, but they still want to get high
Right.
on marijuana. This is how they do it.
Well, I mean, of course, the
Brownies
thing is
and
that some of these things do
jelly
not have
beans.
THB or THC or whatever the hell you call it, and some of it is cannabis oil.
Yep.
Cannabis oil, and some of it you can use for, and some of it is good because some of it you can use on arthritis or any kind of
That's what we hope.
Yeah, well, arthritis basically, and it's not marijuana flavored, or it's not the cannabis. It's
Has no flavor.
it has no marijuana. It's marijuana property, but it's
Right.
How can you say it? It's not marijuana. So these vape shops you go to,
Yeah.
you go to these vape shops, and they have, and like I said, now you all know that for the past few months I've been having problems with my left leg. So I've been having problems with my left leg. So I am getting some of this stuff here. I'm going to rub that bad boy on my leg, and then I'm going to be back to normal, and I'll be able to run again. Hopefully, yes.
I thought it was illegal in Virginia.
No, Kevin.
Medicinal
This is not. It doesn't. It is. How do you explain this? It doesn't have any THB in the actual product, but it has a nutrient. Not nutrient. It has cannabis. It has a.
Added.
It's like an ingredient.
I don't know.
Ingredient.
And it's got the properties of the marijuana, but it's not.
But
But doesn't get you high.
You're not going to get pulled over and say, "Hi, you've been doping up or whatever." No, or you've been taking marijuana. No, it is. They got the ointment they put under your tongue. Ointment they put under their tongue. They got lotion. They got the edibles. Whatnot, and they have the liquid.
Yeah.
You can drink it or pill form. So they got the whole gamut. The whole gamut of what you can do.
You're regular.
So,
You're a regular Cheech and Chong in one person.
Yeah, well, no, I'm saying, and it's amazing. It's amazing because I don't do that. I mean, I don't like marijuana.
Yeah.
I don't like marijuana, but if it's going to make me some money, and if it's going to be good make some money, it's going to be good for good for my joints, good for my joints and my legs. Then by all means. I mean, we're not spring chickens. I mean, you're 60, I'm 51, so
I'm 60.
you're 60 right now. And I'm 51, and what you're 70?
70.
Yeah,
70. I'm 70.
So there you go. I'm
70.
younger than both of you.
I'm so.
So I mean, that's just the way it is, basically. So that's the way it is.
I'm so old I don't buy fresh raspberries anymore.
Your raspberries.
They go bad the next day.
Don't you make raspberries?
Oh.
You can make the
When I
raspberries.
go to the
right?
ball game,
Oh,
yeah.
No, I thought you make the raspberries and they just drop.
When the politicians.
You make the raspberries and they just drop out your pants like that. Plop, plop.
Well,
Anyway,
Yeah.
so hey, news alert.
Yes.
Do you read my Facebook stuff?
I don't even go on
What's
Facebook.
You don't
What
read?
is Facebook?
You don't read it?
I thought only
Stuff on
nerds
Facebook?
and
No.
jerks look on Facebook.
I have a lot of material on Facebook that I can use right now. You remember Digger, the Defermidite from Lamisil?
Yeah, I remember him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the Defermidite. He goes under the toe bed.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, on those ads for
Yeah.
the fungus.
Yeah.
The
Yes.
guy goes under the fungus on the toes.
That's right. He
What about?
Well, hold on. Hi, I'm Digger. I'm the Defermidite. I'm gonna go under your. I just want to have some fun, and I'm not going to cause any harm. I just want to go under your toe. I want to bring my friends under your toe bed, in the toe bed, and make a have a party. And of course, then the announcer comes on and said, "Don't think so. Try Lamisil." No. I want to have a party. I want to be under your toe bed, and I want to cause a party. Lamisil will destroy you. Okay.
I think I saw your post
Yeah.
on the internet, and I said, George, if you're going to play that fungus monster, don't have to be fancy.
Well,
Just
Kevin,
be yourself.
Kevin, words like that. I was thinking about it because they wanted to pay me some money to do it. I said, pay me some money to do it. I said to myself, well, I think Kevin would look more like the damn Topo.
I would listen. They paid me money to do it. I just came back from Lynchburg today.
Yes.
And I was in a movie.
Yeah, how was
and
that?
I played the villain and everything.
Yeah,
Yeah. and you know how funny I try to be anyway. There's no humor at all, and it was really very serious. I wore glasses. I looked kind of like Stephen Colbert with the suit and everything, and I'm yelling at some guy. I'm almost like James Cagney, just yelling at him.
No punchline?
Scarface or
Oh,
something.
my
No
God.
punchline? Still punching?
No, but it's going to be a good movie. It was made in Lynchburg
Okay.
with some friends of mine, and now they've
Did you-
been inviting me. I've made a couple of
Any
movies
Jerry
already in
Falwell?
Lynchburg.
Did you see any
It's
signs
at,
of Jerry Falwell?
it's at this college,
Oh,
but we
okay.
never talk about politics. We never talk about religion or anything. And
you better watch
and
out
we all
because
get, but they have a very good film school.
Those
and
people know who you are. They're gonna haunt you down.
So,
They'll
no,
hunt
they're
you down.
not.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
You know,
Jerry Falwell is
they're-
gonna get you.
I have a more likable
You know-
persona that transcends politics and religion
More likable than
than typical people who do that type of thing.
Oh. Just a little bit high on yourself. Just a little bit high on yourself, right? Just a little bit. Just a
But,
little bit.
but now I'm becoming. I was telling somebody I'm becoming the Gary Cooper of Liberty Baptist College.
I'm just saying, the corpse of Jerry Falwell will come haunt you.
Oh, guess what? Guess
Yes.
what?
Haunt you down.
I'm going to be in a new movie where I play a Jewish guy in it.
Oh.
An old Jewish man, guess my age.
You ever seen that dog?
A guy my age that's Jewish, and it is the first. I played every ethnicity. This is the first time I'm playing a Jewish guy.
Right. Okay. Well, you should do pretty good with that.
Yeah, yeah.
Are you gonna be a blind Jew? Have a seeing eye dog?
No.
Okay.
No,
Have a seeing eye dog?
no, but I
Okay.
won't play Bernie Sanders. Oh yeah, someone asked me. I said I'm not going to play Bernie Sanders. I'm going to play him like myself, only Jewish.
No, well, I mean, you can do him, or you can do.
Because I'm the most least stereotypical Jew since Tina Louise,
Okay.
since Geraldo Rivera.
Well, the question is, are you kosher?
No,
You're not kosher?
no. I'm
Okay.
a man of the. I
Ah.
don't believe.
See,
I don't believe in. I mean, I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just
Right,
saying that
right.
I don't. It's not my deal to follow dietary restrictions unless it's healthy for me.
Right, but I'm saying, but are you kosher, like like a dill pickle?
Oh,
Kosher.
you mean circumcised?
You take it for whatever you want. I'm not, this is a family show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of
Okay.
families that are circumcised.
I'm wondering, is this show
Oh, it's a
kosher?
turtleneck. Oh, it's a turtle.
I don't know.
Okay.
Is this show kosher?
Of course it is.
It is.
It's blessed by the Pope.
Oh, okay. All
It's
right.
not the rabbi, but the Pope. So he
One
made
girlfriend
All right.
once asked- a girlfriend once asked me, before.
Don't you remember when the Pope was here last year?
Yes, that's right.
Pope was here last year, and he
That's
said,
right.
"Oh, come here. You little children from trick or treat, come here. Let me put a cough drop in your mouth, and you'll go trick or treat, go tweet, tweet, tweet all the way home. And you tell you, get down your hands and knees and worship the Pope. The Pope wants to bless you, and I'm also going to molest you too.
Oh.
I think the Pope has other people.
Gonna molest you
Has
too.
too many people in his realm doing
Okay,
that.
all right.
Anyway,
Well,
there was this woman.
For the special effects, Okay.
Before I dated her,
Uh-huh.
she asked me if I was circumcised, and I said, "You're going to have to find out the fun way, like all the other women do." but I just had to, before it all happened, I said, "Listen, I'm Jewish. It's not that hard to figure out." Most people.
Might
in
ask you,
America
probably didn't want to see it, just probably want to just.
are. She just wanted.
we'll see.
When people ask you questions like that, they probably want.
They want to see
They
it.
want to
well,
sample
yeah.
the merchandise.
They want to
Let me
sample the
tell you.
merchandise.
But most people in America, unlike other countries, are circumcised. It's just weird how that.
Well, I
how
can't.
that happened.
Listen.
How that happened in America.
If my dick had a turtleneck, I would want to have it operated on. I'm sorry. I cannot, if my dick had a turtleneck, there's no way. I mean, it has to be natural. And of course, ladies out there, you know what I'm talking about. Space Mountain, 24/7.
Wait, actually, an uncircumcised penis is natural. It's unnatural for someone to take a scalpel to it.
Oh.
And it was because of Abraham
Well, now
who did
the
this in the
turtlenecks,
Bible.
man.
And let me tell you something, he was an old man.
Wearing
And they
turtlenecks.
all decided to do that after that.
Uh-huh.
Jesus himself was circumcised. And
Was it?
and
Okay.
well, he was
Hall-
Jewish.
Well, hallelujah.
But
Hallelujah.
and Christians in America say, well,
Was-
if
was-
Jesus was
Was David
circumcised,
Koresh
then they should.
circumcised? David Koresh circumcised?
I don't know.
David Koresh,
I don't
the
know.
branch Davidian.
I don't know.
Was Jesus.
The only famous person I know that wasn't circumcised was John Holmes, and that's only because I saw
All
the
right.
commercial.
What I'm saying, when you said Jesus, I was thinking of David Koresh.
Yeah, you're correct. Oh, no. Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
come on, man, get with it. Think about it. Come on, think.
That was during the Clinton years.
Right.
You're still arrested in the Clinton years.
That's right. That's
He
right.
still thinks.
That's right. But I mean, the question was he? It was Jesus.
Sure, he
Was
probably-
probably circumcised.
He had a 50-50 chance of being.
Did he? Okay. but all bets were off.
I heard that Elvis.
All bets were off when the place blew up. Okay,
Yes,
yeah, that's
yeah.
right.
They didn't save or hurt him.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. Now, so you were going to bring back a talk about Rudy or something.
I've already said. Well, no, I mean, this is the way it is. I
Are
mean,
we talking about Rudy, the football player?
we're talking about the biggest crook of them all,
Sean
Rudy
Astin.
Giuliani. Rudy Giuliani, the biggest crook of them all. But
I
look,
saw Rudy when he
Look.
came to Borders.
this is what I'm going to say.
What's that?
Right now, we have an election in 2020 that's going to be very important.
You all gonna win, right?
What's that?
Y'all gonna win, right?
We're going to win if we have a certain party in there, certain
What do
person
you mean
in
we,
there.
Paleface?
Well, who's we? I mean, see, now I know you because
Yeah.
you're on the other team.
I am on the other team, but that doesn't mean an independent like you two could get in.
Oh well, you
It
mean
may-
us? Yes. Well, I mean,
Oh.
we probably will, but it's gonna
Yes.
be tough. It's gonna be
We have to
a
get
really
into
tough
debates.
go. Well, we're gonna be at the master.
We're master debaters.
We're gonna be in the master in debates.
We're master
We're gonna be
debaters.
master in debates. We're gonna have some pumice soap,
Yep.
and we're gonna have some olive oil on the side. Well, pumice and olive oil, and we'll take turns in juicing up the pot.
Not bad. Just
Just on the
don't
pot.
let Anderson Cooper get a hold of it.
Actually,
No.
to some extent, he didn't do a whole lot different in the debates Trump against Hillary when he brought all those women out and started, and he turned like a serious debate into what could have been a serious debate into like the Jerry Springer show or something.
Well.
And I tell you something, whether you like Trump or not, I felt it very distasteful. I couldn't even
Look,
watch it.
the
The
little-
second debate, the third debate was a little better.
I like Trump, but when he starts doing that, when he starts, talking about Biden and trying to put the blame and try to, juice up the pot with the guy from with Ukraine and talking about Biden, a phantom story, then I lose respect for Trump. Do I want a change? You damn right I want a change. And the only way we're going to get a change, I've said this before to them, and they know what I'm going to say right now. Elizabeth Warren, I don't think so. Bernie Sanders, hell no. It's been always a hell no to that to do. Kamala Harris, you screwed up California. We don't want you as president. You just screw up everything else. Okay? You know where I'm going with this. Pete, I'm sorry. I don't think we're ready for that yet. I'm going to say, we're not ready for that yet.
Mayor Pete Buttigieg?
Well, you know where I'm going with that, but I'm not going to bring that up. Joe Biden is the only candidate that can beat Trump.
Well, you know something that
Joe Biden is the only candidate that can beat Donald Trump. I've said this before, I'll say it again. If somehow, some way, he doesn't get it, Elizabeth Warren gets it, Kamala Harris gets it, we're going to lose.
Actually,
We're going to lose.
this is the way it,
And that is the God honest truth. You can sit here and say this. Look, I love, and universal health care, I'm all for that. In Canada, what they do, but someone's got to pay for it. Someone's got to pay for it.
the rich that are having a honeymoon.
Well, right. But other people do
not
too.
paying taxes.
And I don't care. I mean, I'm gonna get lame based for this, but I'm just gonna say it. A sex change or a sex, I'm gonna say this, having an insurance transformation and having insurance paying for a transgender's sex change, I'm not paying for that. I'm sorry. And Elizabeth Warren believes that should be covered for. I'm not paying for someone who's going to change their sex. A transgender is going to change their sex. I'm not paying for that, and that's ludicrous. And again, I'm going to hear this. Oh, he's a homophobe. And go to hell. You don't know what I am. You don't know who I am. So go to hell. But I'm sorry. That right there doesn't equate. People say, well, you're a libtard. You're a libtard. No, I am a moderate. I am more moderate than these two put together here. He's to the extreme to the right. He's to the left, and I'm in the middle.
You're in the middle.
He's in the middle.
See,
No, I don't want
I'm
him in the
extreme to
middle.
the left,
No, I don't want
I'm
him in the
You
middle.
sound like Noam Chomsky.
No.
I am in the middle. No, listen. You take it to a different level, and I know you want to, but I'm sorry. It's not going there.
No, I don't want a male sandwich.
No, okay.
You know that
I'm in the middle.
that all these guys that are like in recent years. I'm not a racist. I'm not a fascist.
Kevin, save it.
Let
save
me tell you
it,
something.
Save it.
The Nazis didn't think they were fascists. They thought they were socialists. The communists in Russia, the Union Soviet Socialist Republic, they thought the socialist is supposed to be a good thing. So both the National Socialists and the
Let me ask you,
USSR
Kevin,
thought they were
Kevin,
doing God's work.
Kevin, on camera right now.
Yeah.
Should we have to pay for a person, a transgender, to have a sex change?
If it's in the insurance policy, I don't see why not. But it has to be an insurance policy. If
Do
we have socialized medicine, I have no
do you
problem.
think we should be paying for a transgender to have?
You make it
sex
sound like there's just going to be
no,
a
I'm
line.
asking you a question. Yes or no?
I tell you what would be yes, and let me tell you something. It would actually be a less problem than people who need hearts or new kidneys, because
Okay.
that's actually
Vince.
harder. That's actually a longer line.
Same question.
And the insurance
No.
would pay for that.
Same question.
No.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
But I mean, I
well,
could
but-
understand your views and everything.
But no, but
but
look.
I believe that
We need insurance. We need insurance for the poor. I get all that. We need insurance for health reasons, not to have Botox or. Matter of fact, I'm getting Botox here in a few weeks. By the way.
Are you serious?
Yes, I am. I'm getting Botox right here. No, right here.
yeah.
Oh my God, man!
do it to
You
cure
don't
headaches.
worry. These damn lines right here in my forehead. I want to get rid of them.
Yeah.
No, man.
Yes.
Stop
Botox.
being so worried.
And it's gonna work. I'm not gonna work. But anyway, so
You gonna go
Yeah.
Hollywood on me?
Where are you?
I'm gonna do what I gotta do. I mean,
Where are you?
I got,
Nicole Kidman?
I gotta keep looking as gorgeous as ever. We're being diverted here. We're being diverted off track. What I'm saying, I forgot what I was saying.
Well, actually, Botox is
No.
not covered under.
No, but it
insurance.
shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Okay, if I want to have my asshole, I don't know, my asshole, bleached. The color of my asshole, bleached. That should not be covered.
It isn't covered.
Um,
None of those things are covered.
well, I'm saying, but having a sex change should not be covered.
Well,
Having
not
a sex change
because you don't like people.
No,
with sex
no, it
changes?
has nothing to do with that, but it should be covered because we're paying for it.
No, I don't think
We
we're
pay
fair.
for the insurance, we
the
pay for
government
everybody's
pays
insurance.
for it
The
if we
government,
had
the government
socialized
pays for it,
medicine.
but what I'm saying is, that should not be covered in the insurance. That should not be covered in insurance, that's ridiculous.
Then it shouldn't be in.
It
then-
shouldn't
then
be
there are
covered,
rules.
so it's
Then-
ridiculous
Then when they
to
do
have
insurance
it,
policies,
to
they should
have
put
it
that in there.
covered, period. I mean, we can sit here and argue, I mean,
Let me tell you what an insurance policy is. I mean, most people never read their insurance like it's like a couple hundred pages sometimes. But it's basically a legal contract, and thus there's a lot of stuff in there. If you actually pay attention and read it all, no one can read it all. But what the same thing is it probably most of the time I'm sure stuff like that is not in there. It's probably a pre-existing condition that until recently was not even considered
Well,
in an insurance policy. Now it's probably
well, that's
used.
what she
but
wants.
But let me tell you something even bigger than that. Is that Elizabeth Warren? I don't know. A lot of her adversaries are making hay on that issue, and it's not helping Elizabeth Warren because they're just saying, "Well, you don't want this competent woman as your president."
That's
because
what she wants,
that."
and she's
then
wrong
all
with
the
what she wants.
rednecks, all the homophobes, all the people who got other people elected 4 years ago are going to vote against her, and we're going to be with.
She's she's attacking Joe Biden, saying because he has a different opinion upon what she has, he's not a Democrat. That right there is lunacy by itself. He's calling her out because she's trying to make it sound like he's not a Democrat because he has a different realistic opinion more than she has.
But we're in the debate process, in the primary process right now, and they're all saying that against each other. They're not really helping each other when they do that.
Well,
because
they're not helping,
because
but
then once a
the
front runner
center
comes
core-
on, then that means all of them are going to support that person no matter what they said
The
about them in
center
the debate.
core of the situation is that Elizabeth Warren was the one that took the first shot, so that she got the shot right back at her. No, I don't. I'm sorry. I mean, she has a something that I am totally against. She has a belief that I'm totally against, and I don't think she would be strong enough to beat Trump. I don't think she would beat Trump. Joe Biden, I think, can. Joe Biden can beat Trump for the simple reason because he has the experience. Anybody wants to call him a racist? He was under Barack Obama. He was Barack Obama's VP. So you can't go and say he's a racist and like Kamala Harris did, who's ruined California. And you want to talk about other stuff like that. There is no, so you look at it from the standpoint that what you got, what you got,
Yeah.
and that's what you have. He is the best person that can beat.
40
that can
minutes? All right.
He's the best person that can beat Trump. He's the only person that can beat
You
Trump,
know-
unless we put somebody else in there.
That's a good point you make because he is actually, according to the polls, the guy who could beat Trump. A lot of them can beat Trump. They said, I mean, at this point, anything can change. Warren, Sanders, if they get the nomination, or Biden, they could beat Trump. But Biden would beat him better than the other two
Yes,
would.
yes.
And thus, even though the other two might be better, you want the guy who can win it, who could win it substantially. And the reason why he could probably win it is because he because of his Biden's association with Barack Obama, he pretty much locked up the Democratic African American vote.
Exactly.
And more so than Cory Booker or Kamala Harris, who are black themselves.
Well, Kamala Harris, the thing is, she don't even care about what's going on in the politics because she needs to take care of stuff in her own state. It's like the only thing that she cares about is just impeach Trump, impeach Trump. That ain't going to help you win a Democratic election. Let me tell you, we got people who are suffering in California with fires. She only cares more about illegal immigrants than caring about you, who's actually burning in the fire right now. So that ain't going to win no Democratic election. There was this lady out there in Hawaii, and I forgot her name. She would be a good Democrat.
You're the wisest black man that I know. You know that. You're the wisest black man that I know. I'm serious. I'm serious.
Thank you.
I'm serious. And
someone else
said that too, and I have to.
You're a real wise guy.
I'm probably more black than you.
You probably
I'm probably
are.
more black than you.
You are. You're more black than me, but who cares?
I have more of the the belief system.
Check your underwear.
Check my underwear.
Yeah.
I don't know. It says Haynes. It says Haynes my way.
See, I'm the wise black man.
Yeah.
I'm the wise black man.
I think you've got some wrongness within you, but that's beside the point.
But that's
wrongness within you.
That's his wrongness.
All right, well, look, listen to me. Children, I pull the strings. Okay, this is my orchestra. I pull the strings, and then we all know at the end of the day, Gigi gets the very last one.
I thought she was going to run, but if you're not going to run, then this election's worthless.
Well, you know what? Yeah, I mean, look, I like to think. I mean, Kevin, do you think we have a chance against Trump?
I don't know about a president, maybe local election. We should.
Do you think we have a chance against Trump?
Trump, no.
You and I, VP.
No.
Oh, what you being defeatist?
No, I mean everyone knows who Trump is. I'm not nobody
Kevin.
knows who I am.
You're being defeatist.
That's
Come
the
on.
best thing.
Except my friends. My
Yeah,
friends might vote for me. My family will vote for me. And
That
that's
was
about it.
one of the
It's like-
reasons why Trump won, because nobody knew about him.
Well, no, they
No,
they know about it.
Trump is probably the most famous person ever to run and win for presidency.
Well, that's true.
After maybe George Washington.
For
Listen,
political
right?
wise.
Here's what I don't understand, and I said this last year. We have potty mouths. I am a pervert. I'm proud of it. And we have potty mouths on this show. And if I was to run, basically, I mean, of course, I don't know. I mean, I could get it, or I could have these, people say that I have a potty mouth, and a potty mouth you shouldn't have that as president. But God forbid, these moral and oral people that have the morals and orals and who are the right-wing Christians. I'm a Christian too. I'm not, I'm a Christian, but the morals and orals and believe that this man can do no wrong. And you look at it upon 1 minute. You look upon the fact, grab him by the pussy. Grab him by the pussy. And guess what? He is a saint. He's a gift from God. Well, if you have that mentality and you believe that that's all you have to do is grab him by the pussy, then you got your guy.
No, I think most people who voted for Trump held their nose and just
They're gonna-
thought
you got
Trump
your
was
guy.
better than Hillary. I don't think they were all that wild about Trump.
Hillary was the most qualified.
Well, she may have been,
Hillary
but she
was
didn't
the
get
most
elected.
qualified. No, she got the popular vote, and she
got the popular vote.
She got the popular vote, and she did win. It was a stolen election. We know that. All right, this is the Gorgeous Short Show. Don't correct me. It was a stolen
Too many people voted for
election,
Trump.
Russians.
and you can need to hold
Russians,
off on
huh?
the election.